turn now and talk about some of the local races. There are three in particular for voters in Travis County that could have a big impact when it comes to criminal justice. KVUE senior reporter Tony Plohetski is joining me now. Tony, let's talk a little bit about those three races there for DA, county attorney, and the sheriff.
And Ashley, the DA's race is really shaping up to be a very interesting race tonight. The incumbent Margaret Moore is in a neck-and-neck battle, at least based on early voting, with Jose Garza. Jose Garza has really run on a platform as a criminal justice reformer. Actually, he has received money from a national PAC called the Real Justice PAC that has contributed nearly $50,000 to his campaign. Jose Garza is a former defense attorney. He worked as a public defender for both the state and federal government. Margaret Moore, however, has been around Travis County Democratic politics off and on for 40 years. She has served as a Travis County commissioner. She was Travis County attorney. But right now tonight, as you can see with those early voting numbers, Jose Garza is in the lead with 45% of the early vote. Margaret Moore at 41%. There is a third candidate in this race, Erin Martinson, who actually has really run on a platform of victims' rights. She has brought forth an argument joined by a number of advocates in the community that victims of certain crimes, particularly sexual assault, are not treated as though they should be and that their cases are not taken forward as they should be. But this is going to be an interesting race that could very well, and it seems likely, is headed for a runoff in a few weeks.
Yeah, one of the things that's really interesting about Jose Garza is he actually earned an endorsement from Senator Bernie Sanders. And so that's something that you typically don't see, is that you're starting to see these kind of presidential candidates and these senators get involved. But him saying that a candidate like him would make a difference.
Not just Bernie Sanders, he also received an endorsement from Elizabeth Warren. So two presidential candidates. Actually, I was looking at the numbers just a little while ago. Of course, we're seeing that Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren are also getting a lot of traction here among Travis County voters. So I think a lot of people were interested how their endorsements of Jose Garza may play. But tonight we are seeing that apparently Jose Garza's campaign for Travis County District Attorney really does have some momentum. So I think what's going to be interesting, Ashley, is that if this race heads to a runoff, who votes in that runoff election, whether or not the criminal justice folks who really believe that the county and the system should push forward on issues like, well, Bernie Sanders said in his endorsement of Jose Garza that he would work to end, I just wrote it down here, mass incarceration, according to his press release some weeks ago, the failed war on drugs, and end the criminalization of poverty. Ashley.
Yeah, you know, now one of the things that you just said that kind of goes into the county attorney race is when you're talking about that war on drugs.
That's right.
Some people don't know what the county attorney, what that role is. Explain to us what the role of the county attorney is.
So the county attorney's role is really twofold. Number one, the county attorney's office prosecutes misdemeanor crimes in Travis County. So we're talking about crimes like minor marijuana possession, certain kinds of assaults. This race did draw 4 candidates. Actually, as we have said all night, this is the first time that the county will see a new county attorney in 17 years. David Escamilla currently has served in that role since 2003. The other main function of this office is to serve as basically the law firm for Travis County. They handle civil matters, lawsuits. If someone files a lawsuit against the county, it is the county attorney's office that handles that as well. So it's really kind of an interesting mission of that office in terms of more civil litigation versus criminal litigation. But let's take a look at how that race is shaping up as well. Lori Iserloh, who is a government attorney, she has worked in the county attorney's office, coming in the lead in early voting here in Travis County with 44%. City Council member Delia Garza trailing behind her at 37%. Mike Denton, and actually I think this number is a surprising number to many people. Mike Denton has been involved in the Travis County criminal justice system, working as a county court at law judge, specializing in family law cases for many years, coming in at 11%. There's a defense attorney who has also been regarded, frankly, as the underdog in this race, Dominic Silvera, at 7% as well. Actually, one thing that has been interesting, an interesting point of conversation in these local races here in Travis County, is the benefit of being a female in some of these races as well. We are seeing in a number of races, there are judicial races that are happening tonight as well, where some experts say that just being a woman in these races can automatically come with an added 10 to 15% advantage over male opponents in some of these races. And so that is playing out in a couple of judicial races as well.
Well, and what a change in the times.
What a change in the times, absolutely. And so that has been a trend that we really started seeing in Travis County several years ago, again, playing out in some of these judicial races where women ran against men, some of whom had been on the bench for many, many years, and unseated them. But again, that does seem to be happening to some extent in this county attorney's race, where the two leading contenders right now are Lori Iserloh and Delia Garza, again, at least according to early voting numbers. And Ashley, I want to talk about Delia Garza as a candidate in this race. She has received some criticism, particularly from a former county judge, Bill Elshire is his name, who's really tried to lob some hits at Delia Garza in recent weeks. A number of claims that he has made against her. But one of the things that we have seen in terms of Delia Garza's campaign is that she did return a campaign contribution that was thought to be possibly or likely in violation of campaign laws. She did return that money. Delia Garza, of course, has served on the Austin City Council for a number of years, actually participating in votes that some people say have really changed Austin, for that matter, with regard to how the city treats homeless people in terms of camping ordinances. Also, Delia Garza has been one of the council members on the front line with regard to how law enforcement handles and prosecutes marijuana cases. There's been a lot of discussion about that. So I think a lot of people believe that her candidacy in this race might kind of be a referendum on the city council's policies as well.
Right. Let's get to the sheriff because we only have 30 seconds left. We want to chat a little bit about the sheriff's race. Who's in the lead there?
Sally Hernandez, by far in the lead there with 79% of the early votes, followed by former Austin Police Sergeant Liz Donegan, John Logren also getting 7% of those votes. John Logren was a former deputy who was fired soon after Sally Hernandez took office.
Yeah, and he's trying to fight for that seat. Well, thank you so much, Tony, for providing us that insight. And thanks to all of you for joining us tonight. We're going to continue.